So at the very beginning, we thought that how to impress the customer, the best thing was to go on Google and check a little bit what was going on. What do they say? And everything that we noticed is tips and ways, and 5 ways to impress your customer, 2 ways to impress your customer, 3 ways. None of them were really saying, like, why should you impress your customer? Obviously, the moment that you discover why you should impress a customer, at that point, you can build up a how. So if there is no reason, there's no way to do it. So the best thing that we have done at that point is to search for a movie and to show you what we have in mind. And we're going to see that.
We thought to show you a movie that is a metaphor for impress your customer. We'll let the fox go, eh?
Obviously, the fox doesn't see what he has to hunt, but in the meantime, he can feel it. And what was for us fascinating is how to use it as an analogy of how to impress your customer. The jump is unexpected, and the main characteristic of impressive is being unexpected. Obviously, here we are in fruit logistica, and it's all about harvesting. It's not about hunting. It's all about fruit. It's not about animals, and that's what we mean. Impress your customer by incongruity is one of the ways of surprising the customer.
Okay, you can stop. You can go on the slides if you want.
And obviously, what I have also to be said is that if the fox doesn't find the mouse, if the mouse is not surprised, at that point, he cannot eat. So basically what we really must do is surprise the prey, surprise our customer so that we can eat. I think that we are all in this kind of situation where if we don't surprise, we don't eat and the business don't go. So it's fundamental.
This was the Google tips about how to impress your customer. 6 ways, 7 tips, so not ways, but even tips, so very easy to do. 4 ways to impress your customer, impress your small business. This was Google. Let us give you the plan of our speech today. Our speech is about sharing a story. It's not about teaching you anything. It's about sharing a story of 2 entrepreneurs that made something starting from scratch that is very difficult to do. Our speech today is about a reflection about what is surprising and what is impressiveness. Because, okay, impress your customer, but what does it mean to impress? The second point is the barrier to innovation, the barrier to surprise. There are some barriers to surprise, and the barrier to surprise are inside ourselves. And 3, a brand application. What we have made and how we applied all the framework to a brand, to an existing brand. This is the first topic of our speech, and this is the core of our speech. What is impressiveness and what is surprise? You can be impressive if you do something oversized, or if you do something undersized. This is unexpected.
Everything that is beyond.
Exactly, everything that is beyond. But this is what we call the wow effect. When you see something that is very impressive, you feel a wow effect, and you say wow. And this is the impressiveness by an expectation. But exists another kind of impressiveness, that is the impressiveness by surprise. So is the impressiveness by unexpectation. Because we all speak about meet the customer expectation, but here we are speaking about to unmeet the customer expectation. This is the point. So the element of surprise is not the but is not the wow, but is the Now I understand.
Now, what we mean here also is that surprise is really something that doesn't have to do with psychology. We're not psychologists, we're sociologists, and the surprise is creating a physical effect. The brain is giving oxytocin, is building up oxytocin, and this is a pleasure sensation. So our mean is to give this sensation, which is totally physical. So it's the reason why we wrap presents and we give this feeling of present, of surprise, is definitely to give this feeling of pleasure. If you give a present without the wrapping, you don't get the surprise and the person won't be happy. Anybody here have ever tried to give a jewel just like this without the wrapping? So we need to build up the element of surprise. We need to build up this event, this feeling, which is a physical feeling. Now,
we started recognizing in 3 years of research what are the barriers to innovation, what are the barriers to surprise. Because we investigated the market and many leaders and many executives working in fruit and vegetables, and we found that are incredibly big barriers to innovation. We just list 3 of them, but there are many. First are stereotypes. What we do. Because an apple is undistinguishable from another apple, what we do? We add value. What is it adding value? Okay, we say that the apple is bigger, or the apple is more red, or the apple is simple better. This is a commodity-centric innovation. This is not going to work. Why? Because the commodity will be forever undistinguishable. So you cannot tell apart one apple from another. So what we do stereotypes. You can, we made a fast run in Fruit Logistica. There is even one stand without the word quality, or without the word freshness, or without the word variety. Everything is quality. But if everything is quality, nothing is quality. So we create something to emerge and we flatten. Because we all say quality, we all say freshness, we all say variety. Look these pictures. Same size, same people, same research, same stories. You must learn what you already know. Because if we go and we always speak about the same thing, if we do a commodity-centric innovation, we will never innovate. We will never surprise. And we will never even impress. Because it's impossible to impress. Because the customer will not even be impressed.
So the very first barrier, the second important barrier that has to do with cliches, is the barrier that is inside the leadership of the man or the manager. Most of the time, he don't want to be surprised himself. He wants security. He wants to be sure. He asks solutions to psychologists or marketers. He wants to be sure about what's going on in the market, how the customer is going to react. And basically, this is drying any kind of creativity and any kind of unsurprising and a surprising kind of feeling. So the first thing is that if you are not surprised yourself, you can be sure that your customer will not be surprised. The moment that you start to be a little bit scared about the strange solution, at that point you're starting to build up a real differentiation that will build up a kind of opportunity, obviously. So,
can I add something?
Yes.
All you know Mies van der Rohe, less is more. And many of you maybe are importers or are used to take big risks with commodities. And we all know that with commodities we have to take big risks. Because if you take a small risk, you really increase the risk. So less the risk, more the risk. And we all know when we import from overseas and from everywhere of the world, we cannot import just 2 pallets of that. We have to import 30 containers. So all the managers know that you have to take a big risk to decrease the risk. This is a case of invented Mies van der Rohe. This is a case of more is less. Okay? You have to take more risk to take less risk. But when it comes to brands, when it comes to do something with your product, all this understanding of all the managers and leaders goes out immediately. They immediately goes out, they close their service, they forget completely that they have to take a big risk, and they just take a small risk. They just do a little box of grapes or something with just a normal box, and they put in the market as all we do. And this is completely distinguished.
And the surprise is working inside the context. When you are expecting that inside the context something will happen, at that point, obviously, you're ready to receive it. So if you go to Disneyland, you know that you will be inside a surprising situation or an impressive situation. If you get out of Disneyland, obviously, at that point, you don't have the same expectation. And in fact, most of the time that we speak about surprise, some people are scared because we all remember some bad surprise that we had. So the feeling of surprise depends on the context. If you're on the right context, you can feel the right surprise.
Okay, we come to the second barrier to innovation that we found. The barrier is marketing, not marketers, marketing. Marketing comes at the end of the process. Marketing is the added value. So I have the commodity to sell, the apple, so I ask a marketer to add value in it. And what the marketers do? Oh, well, it's bigger, it's more red, it's more crunchy, what you want. But this is not the way to impress the customer. Because marketing comes at the end of the story. We have to be at the beginning of the story. Where comes the story of brands? That are not the commodity brands, because commodity brands nowadays are marketing brands. Now, in our opinion, we are doing the funeral to marketing. Because the time now is not anymore the time for marketing. This is the time for brands. That is a completely different story. This is why I added, we have to be wrong at the start, so the leader has to know that at the beginning the first solution is counterintuitive. But this solution counterintuitive will be right at the end. If we do the very nice and very easy box, we are not going to survive.
So the question is how to be remarkable. Most of the time we are trying to be impressive. Most of the time we have to try to be remarkable. What does it mean? It means to go over what is expected. If you just do what people are expecting, how can you reach any kind of impressive level of surpriseness? For example, we expect a minimum level of quality. The client obviously is expecting freshness, expecting quality. It's normal. It's not being beyond, it's being normal. When you take an airplane, you obviously expect that the airplane is going to bring you a destination. Nothing remarkable about that. The question is how to be over this. When you want to be impressive, at that point you give a free ticket. This is impressive. Or the airplane arrived 1 hour before. This is surprising. So the question is how to build up an event that it's over beyond expectations, and how to be remarkable. So when we speak about quality, we are really not inside any kind of impressiveness. It's important to try to get out of all the words, of the superlatives that are continuously used, that we feel that we need to put because we would be outside the trend. But in the meantime, at that point, we position ourselves inside the flow, and we just give what the customer expects, but not what the customer is unexpecting. And this is the whole problem. We have to do unexpected things so that we differentiate, but also the customer will remember you, the customer will have a feeling, the customer will think about what he just have done. If we just are inside the normal process, premium, gold, selection, superlatives, we don't get out of the process. We're still inside the expecting. And we get inside repetition blindness. The client, when he starts to see the same thing over and over, it's repetition blindness. The brain disconnects and don't see anymore. You can put all the time some pictures and all the time write it. It won't mean anything.
Repetition blindness is something coming from the neuromarketing research. The brain closes when the brain sees a lot of the same, it closes out. So an advertising repeated 100 times close the brain of the consumer. This is repetition blindness. We thought, no, we don't do that. We don't do quality. We don't do freshness. We don't do anything at all. We do something completely different. And now it's coming the best part of our story that we want to share with you, that maybe is going to inspire you, maybe is going to inspire some leaders that are here to do something completely different, to do a new offer to the consumer. Well, what is it? This is a face coming from a picture to an icon. We all have a packaging of fruit, and very often we put on packaging of fruit a very nice picture of the tomato or a very nice picture of the orange, this kind of stuff. We thought no to everything, and we made on our scale a brand application of that we are still working on it, and we are going to show it, this brand application. That you will find all the elements we were speaking about, but in a concrete brand application.
Okay. What we can also add is that we looked to the whole market and we noticed some repetitiveness. Okay. Then we thought, okay, we must be surprising. And at that point, we've been invited in the south of Italy, and we went to see some producers, and they were having some problem to sell their stuff. And really, we just saw some people that have really accumulated a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, and that were repetitively doing the same thing. They really know how to grow things, but they didn't know how to grow sales or brand, because in fact, nature grows in the front, it grows in the ground, but brand grows in the mind, and it's two different things. When you deal with nature, it's not the same thing as dealing with humans. So it was inevitable that the producers knew how to do something, but had some difficulty to do the rest. So we thought, like, okay, we're going to help them, and we give them a few insights, and all our insights that were obviously disruptive, meant to be different and to create impressive and surprise and everything. They were saying, like, hey, we cannot do this. You know, we have to do it the usual way. So at that point, we really thought, like, okay, we have to say no. We have to say no to everything. We have to use the no in a positive way. We have to use it as a shield against the yes, because sometimes saying yes is staying in the comfort zone. If you stay in the comfort zone and you do things as usual, you cannot get out. So we say no. And we start to try to follow some different roads, and obviously they were like risky roads. So we thought, like, okay, if we follow the risky road, we have to take this risk on ourselves. It's not only ideas, it's concrete. Let's do it concretely.
This is what we have done. This is a business application for that we made three years ago. I will tell you briefly the story of that. Look the name. Bruno found his name, and I told him, but this is a name for flowers. He told me, yes, this is a name for flowers. We stick this name on fruit and vegetables, and then we use this payoff, that is a payoff made for the buyers. Why? Because the people that are in marketing department or trading department, they really hate to go down in the pack house, because when they go down in the pack house, there is a problem. Because the supplier said something that is problematic. They want to stay upstairs. So the bad news they can receive is just a news. This is why the best surprise is no surprise. So
you would say, like, hey, it's the contrary. It's just the contrary of what we were saying, but no, because speaking about surprise is already acting and making some connection with a surprise way of thinking. So the idea was to put it on side.
This is a brand commodity agnostic. We didn't start from the commodity. We are unaware of the commodity. We don't care the commodity. You can put inside a cherry, hot pepper, strawberry, tomato, stone fruit, pineapple, melon, what you want, even iron. It's a brand. It's not the commodity inside that is giving the sense of the brand. I should say that this brand is motivated by fashion, because we work in Florence and we work mostly on fashion design, with fashion designers, fashion brands. So we took the business model of fashion and we put the business model of fashion based on premium business model on a real brand. And this is the outcome of the brand. Something made with a total design approach. So we enter with the design approach in the commodity sector. That this is completely crazy because the people are normally interested in the grapes, in the citrus, in the cherry, in the apple. We don't care. We care about the brand.
We didn't put the picture also. We didn't put any picture because when you start to put a picture, that's it. It's finished. You're in the generic situation. We expect to see pictures. Pictures are all the same. Strangely, when you go in reverse and you start iconic, at that point you're speaking about all the orange or all the fruit. So it was really important not to put any kind of picture, which is already the first scary little thing. The second thing that we wanted to know is to have a name that it wasn't the name of a company, wasn't the name of a person, wasn't the name, but it was an evocative name. It wasn't a king or any kind of this kind of thing that we all see.
Okay. And this is really. I will show you these pictures. I will show you these pictures to share with you what we have made. Because in our opinion, this can be a solution that can inspire you. We hope to inspire you with that.
So one thing really important also is that we completely cancel all the words that are normally used in the whole market. Fresh, quality, and all these things. We said, okay, we must show it, we must not say it. There is a real difficulty to reach quality. If you speak with any kind of producer, he will say like, wow, to build up quality, it's a huge investment, energy, knowledge, you know, they really work on that. And then it's super easy. You just like write it on the box and that's it. You've got quality, you've got the connection between one and the other. No, it's really hard to show quality and don't say it. If you say it, that's it. People won't believe it. If I say like, hello, I'm Bruno, I'm intelligent, nobody will believe it here. It will be ridiculous, you know. So this is the deal. Don't say it, show it. We wanted to show something that was elegant. Elegant is always connected with quality. You never see somebody with elegance, a minimum elegance, and you never think like, oh, he's dressed up without quality. It's impossible. Elegance is quality. So okay, we won't speak about quality. We will show elegance. The mix will be a surprising kind of effect, and that's what we wanted to do. And obviously, when you do something like this, you have to make a segmentation. You have to choose. You have to go on the niche. You have to decide that a lot of people won't follow this or won't understand it, and it's okay. You just try to target a segmentation. And that's what we have done. If the people understand and go for it, that's it. We know, obviously, that there is some other ways of discourse going on. Bio, sustainability, and everything. It's okay. We don't want to go against them. We just want to be part of it, near them, you know, complementary. Because if somebody is interested in bio and sustainability and everything, it's okay. It's already everybody hear it. And I mean, if people will be sensible, you know, the kind of people that will be sensible to sustainability and bio, they will have their own product. Okay, it's already done. We have to do something near this, and we have to do it different. So we choose to show quality, and we decided that the primary benefit of our brand will be just elegance.
Yes, for sure. This is the final part of our speech, because we are showing you these pictures only to share with you the framework behind it. We call the framework dJump as the fox. The fox is jumping, and the jump is impressive, and is also unexpected, and is also surprising. And the mouse is dead. And this is the final part of the speech, because we are sharing, we want to share, and thanks Carsten to let us share this story with these people about our framework that we call dJump. We call dJump, and we have many ways in which companies can jump. If you are a startup, you jump in a way. If you are a big company, you jump in another way. It depends from where you are on the curve. of your growth. Because there is a difference between the profit and the growth. You can keep the profit, you can generate the profit, but at a certain point, an inflection point arrives, and you cannot grow anymore. You can add more volume, more volume, more volume. Is the famous story, I do double of the quantity for half the price. So I will be at the same level. This is the inflection point. So this is why we developed a framework for leaders, for branders, for marketers to have a metric of evaluation of risk. Because we, at the moment, as leaders of fruit and vegetables, we take our choices based on the fact that maybe a design is also nice. Is nice. This box is nice, okay, we take it, and we make 1 million of that. Okay. But this is not a metric for evaluation.
So it's really important just to also notice one thing. Great ideas cannot be tested. It must be done full scale. And that really was the only way to prove that this brand being disruptive like this could work. We made it in a full scale. I don't want to call it a market test because it was a national and international sale. And it worked, so the results were obviously showing that the client retention, the net growth, and everything was really 10%.
Yes, it's not only fireworks, it's also a bloody story, as an old story. It's not easy to develop brands. So, but anyway, also the price premium and everything was there. And
okay, so listen, we just wanted to say, perhaps for you it would be strange to think that a minimum of aesthetic is a primary benefit that seems to be ridiculous. Now, if you think about Apple, for example, when they started to make Apple, the company, by the way, not the Apple that we can see outside here. When the Apple started to do colorful computers, they started to show that the computer were not only about characteristics, power and Intel inside, but it was also about aesthetic. It was not speaking about characteristics, it was speaking about aesthetic. And from there, they showed that they were showing that they were innovative and that they could express themselves in a different way. And from this level of aesthetic, they moved to different steps, disrupting themselves. So this is what we really want to say. Strategic design is a way to start to be at the beginning on a disruptive way and to position yourself in a different way, and then slowly to move on to where you want to go. So I just want to, here that we are in Germany, just want to make a little reference to Bauhaus, the aesthetic, the architectural and design guys. Simplicity, beauty, functionality and surprise. That was their motto. Simplicity, beauty, functionality and surprise. I think that if we try to connect this to our own business, our own brand, and our own fruit and vegetable, that's it. We can grab the success of the Bauhaus.